Hi, Brandi.
Hey Christine, how are you?
Pretty good. How are you?
Doing well.
Good. So yeah, I just wanted to ask you some questions about our time working together and just kind of reflect back on how far you've come and the different things that you learned with our work together.
Perfect. Sounds good.
Yeah. So yeah, I'll start off asking you what has changed for you since we first started working together. So maybe if you could just tell a little bit about some of the issues that you had when we first started our work and kind of how that's changed for you.
Yeah, so looking back, a lot has changed for me, pretty dramatically in the best way possible. Um, Emotionally, mentally, physically, and spiritually. Some of the issues that I was dealing with when we first started was my diet, gluten and dairy, as well as a histamine allergy. I have that as well. And also essentially putting myself first and balancing myself. And I've seen dramatic changes with that since we first started working together.
Nice, nice, cool. And what are some of the things that you've learned through our work together? Like some big takeaways or aha moments you've had?
I've had quite a few. Some of my biggest takeaways and aha moments or epiphanies, if you will. The first one was that I was essentially in my own way. I was in my own way that had I came to face that, and I essentially have the capacity to do anything that I put my mind to. And speaking of the mind, I one of the biggest moments and the biggest takeaway throughout it all has been that I've had the answers this entire time,
Wow.
which is a huge revelation.
Yeah, that's pretty profound.
It really was. That was one huge thing that still sticks with me, and I am still learning is, I do have all of the answers. It is in my mind, and your mind and your body and spiritual, it's truly connected.
Yeah. Cool. Let's see. Is there anything you can think of that you are maybe most proud of accomplishing since we started our work together?
One thing that I am proud of accomplishing, yes, was being able to overcome the obstacle of being 100% completely dairy and gluten free, as well as histamine free. That was a obstacle, and that's something that I'm really proud of. I struggled with that for about a year, going back and forth. So working with you, we were able to really put that in force and stay consistent with it. And also putting myself first. That is another thing that I am really proud of, something that I have struggled with in the past. And to rest and listen to my mind and body and spirit.
Yeah. Yeah. Can't take care of others if you don't take care of yourself first, right?
Exactly. Pouring into myself and putting myself first.
Nice. And then are there any specific goals that you've achieved? I mean, you mentioned the gluten and the dairy. I know you were still snacking on chocolate, and that was something that we were able to fully resolve.
Yes, yes. So there were specific goals that were in place when we first started working, and I'm happy to say that I have achieved those. Like you said, I was still snacking on chocolate, still snacking on bread, and this dill sauce that I eat with the bread, still going in and out with that. So that's a goal that I have met and truly achieved. I can say 100%, which feels good to say. It's amazing. And also another goal, that we worked on was getting a routine in place, and learning the word rest. That's something that those goals that were put into place and I've achieved.
Nice, nice. Um, okay. And what about goals that you're still working on? Where you want to go from here, what you might still need support on?
Yeah, so a couple of things I am still working on is keeping myself emotionally balanced, consistency, and putting myself first and setting those boundaries with myself and also others around me. I would still like additional support with setting boundaries and continuing my growth in that, as well as continuing to rest. You know, I'm a person who goes and kind of gets worth from being so productive. That's something that I still would need assistance and support on. Yeah.
Cool. Let's see. So what obstacles did you notice were in your way to achieving optimal health or like the goals that you were working on? And how, like in our work together, did you find that we were able to remove those obstacles, and how easy or hard was that for you?
Yeah. So a couple of things were, essentially in my way. Couple habits and also my perspective and attitude towards things, my point of view on things, that was in my way. And I didn't really fully understand the reason as to why that was until I started, working with you and looking at my subconscious mind, learning about that. And that's where, my habits and beliefs and, attitude essentially and perspectives are housed. And looking at that, it was easier to do because we're looking at the root cause of it. So understanding that, like you're going to the root cause in the sessions and kind of seeing what's going on. And essentially, I knew that I needed to break it. I just didn't know how. I've tried other avenues, certain things to try and break it. It never would really work. I would revert right back to it. And so working with you, you voiced to me like we're getting to the root cause of these obstacles and kind of rewiring during doing that neuroplasticity. It was a little bit difficult at first because it was change for me. I have a love and hate relationship with with change. It can be definitely uncomfortable, so it was kind of uncomfortable at first, but you're right, me, this is better for your better health, balancing yourself, um better for me in every way. So within doing that and understanding that and doing these little minor tweaks each session with the behavior instructions, it really helped. I never really understood, the small little things can equal something big. So, and actually implementing that, it was easier to overcome, making those small little changes and also continuing to use the techniques and the behavior instructions that you were given, that you gave to me actually, um, have really helped, and it's been easy.
Um, yeah, so I think that's pretty much all the questions that I had. Is there just anything else that you wanted to add about the work that we did together?
Yeah, it was honestly really eye-opening that I was able to reframe, my habits, my perspectives and attitude towards things, eliminating some stresses, anxieties, actually overcoming the things that I wanted to overcome during these sessions and working with you because it felt like it was unattainable at one point. And so in working with you, I actually attained it and implemented a lot of things that I never thought I could. And continuing to, to be gluten, dairy, histamine free, listening to my mind and my body, resting, all of that, you've really equipped me with taking that and moving forward and being consistent and really have shown myself self-discipline and consistency. So I thank you for that.
Amazing. You're welcome. You're welcome.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Yes. Thanks, Christine, so much.